My son was beaten to death and he lost a lot of breath.
Israeli settler violence in the occupied West Bank keeps rising.
We are learning that a 20-year-old American citizen born and raised in Tampa, Florida, was brutally beaten to death by Israeli settlers while visiting his family in the occupied West Bank. His name was Sayfollah Musallet.
Just in the past 3 years, over 1,000 Palestinians were murdered in the West Bank, including American citizens like Sayfollah, all under the watch of the IDF and encouragement from Israeli leaders.
Americans need to know what's happening with their money.
Sayfollah's murder really brought into light how much closer we are to what's going on in Palestine than we'd like to think.
Breakthrough News went to Tampa, Florida to speak to Sayfollah's father and see how the Palestinian community affected by this loss is fighting back. 1 year after his murder, they are still seeking justice.
One of his favorite things that he liked the most was cars. Sayfollah loved cars. He always wanted a BMW M5. That was like his dream car. I went through his Instagram and everything was cars. Respectful kid, and I even realized it more after. His friends would tell me everything he would do, he would always want to know that my father approves of it. So that really actually made me feel good. Every time I think about these kind of things, it helps out with the healing process. Sometimes I was a little tough on him, but that's just like tough love. Because you always have these regrets when these things happen. It's just common nature. I wish I did this differently, or I wish I did this differently, or spent more time with him that day, or things like that, and left a void in the family. My wife misses him, my kids miss him, I miss him. It's hard, and they're taking it day by day. It's changed between all their friends, because he was the one that would actually bring them together more. Like call them up, hey, this weekend let's get together. Let's get an Airbnb and hang out at the beach. And so ever since he was killed, ever since he was gone, that's missing now. They don't have that connection that they had when he was here with them.
He just said, we're at IHOP. He just said, what'd you say? Can I get a plastic hardware?
Sayfollah was only 20 years old. And as many of you know, Sayfollah has an ice cream shop right here in Tampa, so please go if you can. It's the best ice cream in town. It's called Ice Cream.
We started this business, he was happy, he had this business. I was a businessman, so he was kind of looking at, maybe I can follow my dad's footsteps, and it made me know that how proud I am of him, and still proud of him.
Sayfollah Musallet, who is a Shaheen right here in our backyard, is only one of millions of Palestinians who have lost their lives to the struggle to make sure that Palestine remains.
Now, ever since over a year before Sayfollah was killed, we have the challenges of the Israeli settlers. They're coming into town, coming into the surrounding villages, they're stealing our lands. The land that my son was killed on, the land that belongs to us, and another 1,500 acres of everyone's land from our villages, they still can't get to it because they're settlers at this moment right now. They have this impunity. They get away with anything that they do. They get away with killings. They get away with land theft. Our village is called Mussallet Sharqiyya. Basically of almost 80% Americans, meaning like American Palestinians. So it's basically open farmland and with farmhouses. And Israeli settlers went there, put an outpost, and began to prevent from any Palestinians to get there. And anybody that tried to get to their lands, they would throw rocks at them, attack them, shoot at them. And so it happened 1 week, 2 weeks, and then so the people from our village decided to go out there to try to make it to their lands in a peaceful protest. That day, it seems like they got ambushed. They thought they didn't have that many settlers there, and it ended up being like 40, 50 settlers. They started attacking all the youth and the elders that were there. His friend, Mohammed Shalabi, he was shot and killed also that day. So there was 2 Palestinians that were killed that day. My son was beaten to death, and he lost a lot of breath, and he ran down the valley and he reached this tree that he stayed under for shade. And then his friend found him and stayed with him. They were afraid because there were settlers on top. There was Israeli army on the bottom. They were calling for help until finally they got approval. After 3 hours, an ambulance is able to get to him. Because the first ambulance that came, it got attacked with rocks and stones. Windows were busted and had to go back. And what hurts the most is after 3 hours, when they finally got approval, the ambulance got as close as they could. They took him on the stretcher, and basically only 5 minutes before he was put into the ambulance, he took his last breath. Ever since that day, nobody's got charged, nobody's been arrested, no accountability, just pure impunity. Mike Huckabee came to the house and he called it an act of terror, which was surprising, to be honest with you, when he called it an act of terror. So at that moment I was thinking maybe something would happen. And the only thing that actually occurred after was that they actually put a security travel ban for me and my whole family. Like now we can't travel to Jerusalem, we can only travel in the West Bank. They killed my son, and on top of that, they give the family, some sort of punishment. That's all I got from the Israeli authority.
Only through our collective struggle and our fights and the persistence and perseverance that are shown and guided to us by these amazing Palestinians are we able to make the path forward.
We're trying to demand an independent investigation through the DOJ, and still nothing. There's been some great congressmen and women that have been on our side and pushing for this. But in the greater picture, are they going to demand an investigation? Are they going to do an independent investigation themselves? It's a matter of time, but I don't see it happening. It's never happened before to any of the other American Palestinian killed. Even after Sayfollah, 2 more Americans have been killed in the West Bank by Israeli settlers. So it didn't stop, and the impunity continues.
The fight for justice for Sayfollah has been an uphill battle, exposing the deep relationship between the state of Florida and Israel. The Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, has been advocating for him and other Muslim Americans in the state, all while becoming the main target of Islamophobic attacks from the DeSantis administration.
Thanks so much. Great to be back in Tampa. Please have a seat. We were strong in designating the Council of American Islamic Relations as a foreign terrorist organization. And
we are on a mission to make sure that as long as it affects American Muslims in Florida, then you should know about it. Whether it's the murder of an American Floridian or the investment of our taxpayers' money in Israel, you should know about it. And that, I think, is what it has gained us the wrath of the Zionist movement and the Floridian elected officials who are bought by those systems. That is why we're under attack, and that is why we will continue to push back. My first recollection of this type of murder was when I was a university student in 2003. Rachel Corrie was run over by a bulldozer because she was standing to protect a home in Gaza. She's a young American peace activist run over by a bulldozer, crushed to death. And until now, no accountability. And since then, we've had American after American after American killed with no accountability. We have seen time and time again Israel and the Israeli lobby put immense amounts of pressure, force, and even money in the millions of dollars, setting new records of how much money is invested to oust somebody who is not pro-Israel enough. $63 million a day going to the 22nd wealthiest country in the world. Our veterans are suffering, and we're sending so much money over there. Americans need to know what's happening with their money.
Tampa has become deeply connected to the war on Palestine and the rest of the region. It is home to MacDill Air Force Base, which hosts the U.S. Central Command, or CENTCOM, the joint task force of the Department of War in charge of operations in the Middle East. This Air Force Base, along with the pro-Zionist city and state legislature, has attracted unwelcomed neighbors.
Well, Tampa is now home to the headquarters of a drone company. The company was founded in Israel, but its leaders have chosen to build drones right here in the Bay Area.
We met with a local organizer outside of Extend Drones headquarters. She is part of Fight Back FIBA, a group that is aiming to cut financial ties between Hillsborough County and Israel.
Hillsborough County residents have been calling on their county commissioners to stop all local taxpayer dollars from going to FIBA. The Florida Israeli Business Accelerator funds companies like Extend Defense and Cyberwell for over 7 years. These companies have been linked directly to the attacks on Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank. There is a huge Palestinian and Arab community in Hillsborough County. Not only did we get a huge response from the residents, but also the businesses in Tampa, because they're wondering why they don't get that funding. I found out about Saif's murder when his cousin reached out to me. As soon as his community found out, we wanted to mobilize. It shouldn't take being close to a situation to care about it, but Sayfollah's murder, being so close to home, really brought into light how much closer we are to what's going on in Palestine than we'd like to think. If Tampa residents like Sayfollah can be murdered by the violence that's going on in Palestine, then Tampa residents can also question why weapons and military technology companies that support this and are connected to this violence, why they are being normalized in our communities. The people have made it very clear that there are local needs that need to be met, and putting our money into a foreign entity committing a genocide is not going to make our lives any better for us here. We are calling on our county commissioners to stop all funding to FIBA for fiscal year 27. We need to cut ties with Israel wherever we can, however possible. We are also calling on all the other counties in Florida to look into how much money your county is funding instead of your communities.
I think it's impacted in a positive way. That's what makes me happy. His community has been, very outspoken and protesting and demanding justice and demanding accountability. Those are some of the things that actually help the healing process.
The fight goes on. We're going to continue working. We're going to continue to seek accountability for Sayfollah. We're going to work with elected officials, and we're just going to push to the last point that we can.
You can claim to be patriotic, but until you stop covering up the murders of Americans in Palestine, you will always be remembered in history as a war criminal that has put Israel first.
It made me stronger. It made me a voice for my people, because I feel like I can't give up. I have to keep mentioning his name. I have to keep demanding justice. There's now a different role for me, as a father, as a Palestinian.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Gaza! Free, free Gaza! Free, free, free Gaza! Free, free, free Gaza! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine is almost free!